welcome everybody and grateful. For those who might be first timers, here's the book. It's called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage, written by moi, Dr. Willie Jolley, best-selling author and Hall of Fame speaker. Thank God, hallelujah. And his bride, it says here, for over 30 years, actually over 36 years now, going on 37, Dee Taylor-Jolley. You.
Hi, everybody.
You're pretty and cute, and I got the hots for you.
Thank you, dear.
Whew, that woman, she turns me on. That woman turns me on after all these years. I still got the hots for her. Yes, I do. So look, welcome. We got a, well, let me announce first that many people want to know, we're going to do another marriage event, online marriage event, Zoom event, and it's a relationship repair. That's what we call it, a relationship repair. It's going to be on the third Tuesday of April. So join us for that event, and we'll be able to, you go to jollymarriage.com for more information, or just send us an email at info@williejolly.com.
The page isn't up yet, right?
It's not up yet. So, but I'm giving them a fair warning, and there'll be a seminar online on the third Tuesday. It's a couple hours. We will be able to spend some great time with you, not our regular short time on Monday night. Okay? All right. Now let's talk about this week's topic. Anything else I want to tell? Let me go ahead and address it right now before I forget. The Will Smith incident last night. Protecting and defending and protecting the honor of his wife. And you know, we love you taking good care of your spouses, but that was a incident that I thought was a emotional reaction that impacted a great performance and tarnished a evening's win of a great performance. That movie, King Richard, if you haven't seen it, it was one of the best movies we saw all year. We saw it at a preview, and we said that is an Oscar-winning performance, and it's an incredible movie. But all of this makes me think of a couple things. One, the word anger is the word danger without the D. You take the word danger, you take the D off, it's anger. And the D is for discipline. That anger can destroy your thinking, destroy your life, destroy your future, destroy great work. So you got to be able to have discipline so you make wise decisions when you get angry. Anger is an emotion, but the D is for discipline, because that's the word danger. Danger, danger, danger. So here's what I've learned from one of my mentors. It takes a lifetime to build a reputation of excellence, and it takes 1 minute to destroy it. So you've got to use discipline so that you don't make a emotional decision. So I'm praying for that whole situation, that good will be able to come out of it, that lessons will be learned, and that people will, for future, say, I'm not going to make a emotional decision here. Okay, so I wanted.
What are your thoughts? Just quickly. First of all, I was already in bed asleep.
She was asleep. She was way gone.
I saw nothing.
Yeah.
So, anybody have thoughts on that?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? Some of y'all thoughts on the whole incident, the episode, and what we maybe can grow from this, so that this was not it. So that's something you put in the chat. Let's talk about this. Improve your connection with affection.
So where's that little? What prompted that?
We got a letter.
Title?
We got a lot of letters. Feel free, folks, to send us a letter. We never call your name out because we want to keep it anonymous, but we will address the
email
issue.
Comments. It's not really a letter. It's really
an email. We got an email.
Yes.
We got an email from a gentleman who said his wife was not very affectionate, and he did not know what to do about it. And that's the opposite of me. I'm by my nature affectionate. Now, though, my wife, that was not her calling card. And here's what I want. She was not an affectionate, warm, and fuzzy. Okay. And yet, over the years, she has become very, very affectionate. She grabs on me. She chases me around the room. She pounces on me.
It's a difference in temperament. You don't need to go into the details.
And now we're going to talk about the temperament, because my wife is teaching a class at our church, which is very popular class. I mean, people, it's packed out. You can't get any more people, could you? It's sold out.
It's sold out.
Yeah, but it's sold out. I mean, it's sold out. All the spaces they had to.
What kind of soda?
Yeah, I mean, she don't want to say it. It's sold out. And they couldn't get any more people because she's a great teacher. She's teaching.
I think the topic was interesting. I don't know about all that. I'm trying to have humility. That doesn't.
That doesn't work. That's not to come easy with me. I just So she's teaching a class on your personality style. Temperaments.
Is your God-given innate wiring, which is different than your character, which is different than your personality.
So it's how you hardwired.
How you're hardwired. So you popped out talking loud.
Hey, hello, nurse. I'm here. You can be the head nurse. You can be the head nurse. Yes, you can. That's how I popped out.
And so you've always been talkative, always, I won't say the life of the party, but the room brightens up when you enter, all that kind of stuff. And you've always told stories of those kind of things.
Yes.
Which you got sent to the principal's office for, now you get paid to do. Right?
Yes.
So that's your innate. So that's what we're talking about in the class. One's innate, inborn structure.
Okay.
And there are four of them.
There are four of them.
There are four.
Okay.
And this concept of one's temperament goes back over 3,000 years.
Really?
Goes back over 3,000 years. So basically, you're a sanguine.
I'm a sanguine?
And that's a fancy kind of name.
A phlegmatic. A flint. What am I?
You're loud. You tell stories. You talk all the time. You are a sanguine.
Oh.
And the easy way to remember is that you're yellow, kind of like you brighten up. Now, the colors are arbitrary to make it easier for people to understand the different innate behavior.
She's getting ready to teach y'all something.
No, I'm not.
Nick, I want to say thank you. He met me at Achievement Day in Tennessee. He says books have been fantastic. He reads them once a year. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. I remember coming to speak for that event. And by the way, folks, I'm starting to speak again. So, anybody who wants to have me come speak for their group, now's the time. I'm starting to get back out, and I'm still doing a lot of virtual events. Did one last week in Virginia and one before that, the week in South Africa, but it was virtual. Thank God. Hallelujah. Because that trip to South Africa, as much as I loved South Africa, which I did, is that trip. I want to be able to beam me up, Scotty, get there, and then beam me back.
So he's doing much more, and he's doing it virtually from his office. And he has a program coming up this week, this Thursday, and you had one last Thursday. Okay, so back to, why is there a challenge in connecting? Why
do people have connected? You brought some good things up. What keeps people from connecting?
Okay, so
some of it is their temperament and their personality.
Some is their temperament, and they're four basic kinds. So,
all right, why don't you give me one? I'm a sanguine.
You're a sanguine, and that's basically yellow. You're outgoing. You tell stories. You're comfortable. You brighten the room. You do all that other kind of stuff. And then I happen to be cleric. A cleric is more bossy. I tend to be a leader by nature. Doesn't mean you're not. Right. But my dominant innate is that I want to be in control.
That's the truth.
Control. And that's really natural. That's true. Want to be in control.
She wants to control everything.
If I'm not talking, it's just natural to put things together and be in charge. It's the kind of presence that I have. And then there is there's the phlegmatic, which is what I said, what our son is.
Oh, what is that?
Which is the equivalent of being very calm. Doesn't really want confrontation
No.
is the kind that can come in and get people to get along.
Yeah. That's him.
And in classes, that really is.
That's him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a people person. Never met a stranger.
Yes, it makes people feel comfortable.
Yeah,
Easygoing. You want to be around them. And then there is the melancholy. And I used to think when they said melancholy, that melancholy meant sad. But in terms of the temperament, the melancholy refers to the detail. Like blue. It's blue. You think about the CPA or the bookkeeper. And I'm also that. That's my secondary innate behavior.
And what's that one called?
It's melancholy. And you're detail focused.
Okay.
You're organized. You can always make a list.
Okay.
You make a list. Here's a list. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. You're very well organized. So you can be a leader, but not be organized. Yes.
I was the chair of the CPA Leadership Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Not really organized per se, but I get it done.
And you easily motivate people to follow you because they're excited. You get them excited. You get them focused and all of that, right?
I got you
where
focused.
I am
when you didn't want to marry
where
me.
I am a leader because I want to get things done. I'm less likely to have people follow me because I'm not all that excited.
And you're not warm and fuzzy.
And I'm not warm and fuzzy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So having said that,
yeah,
people tend to be in relationships with the opposite.
Okay, let's see. We got sanguine.
Complement each
we got
other.
Sanguine, melancholy, phlegmatic, and what was that last one?
Chloric.
Oh, chloric.
It's the bossy.
Bossy.
And that's red.
Red, you are.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So what here's the key though. Some people are by their nature not particularly affectionate. They're by their nature, they're hardwired, not affectionate. They're not warm and fuzzy. Dee's father was not a warm and fuzzy until you got to know him. It took a while. He would have to warm up to you. It took me a long time for him to warm up to me, but when he finally did, we were tight as could be. So some people by their nature are not warm and fuzzy. So then if you know that, that's the key. Mm-hmm. If you know that, you don't expect. So this guy who sent me the note, he might have been married to a chloric who's in charge and not by their nature warm and fuzzy. But you can condition and encourage and get people to start to be more affectionate because it creates a better connection in your life.
But I asked you a question about that when we were talking about this, and I said, I think it's important that we look at, so why isn't this person? I mean, he's married to this person, right?
Yeah.
He's married to this person.
Right.
So at some point in time, there had to be some warm fuzzy or something going on. What happened to stop the affection?
What happened? Now you came up with some good ones.
This is what I was asking you. I'm like, so before we get to how do I make
you made some good points. Yep.
How do I work at improving the connections? We need to look at what happened to the connections, and that has not been presented.
You said you found some research stuff.
So I came up with some information because everybody has a nose and everybody's got an opinion and different ideas about psychologists and like psychology today and the things that they were talking about. Some of them are kind of fancy, but then I have some very simple suggestions too. Okay. So first, from the psychologists who say that when you're with somebody for a while and you're married for several years, that you get comfortable and you forget the courtship.
Ooh, that is why we tell people, why don't I go ahead and give them the answer to it right now? While we tell everybody that it is going to have those moments where you might be hot as a firecracker when you get married, but over time it cools off. As our friends who were East Indian, they were arranged marriage. They said, people in America, they start off hot and over time cool off. While people in India who have arranged marriage start off cold, but over time warm up. And so what we recommend you do, date night.
So they had to actually work on getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Where we get to know each other, we get married, and then we just kind of go our separate ways and quit working on the relationship. So the courtship is important, which is what we said. Date night is important.
Date night. And we've been having a date night every Thursday night for 35 years, I say.
And ours came out of necessity. It's not like we were that brilliant. We just kind of stumbled into it because we had no time for each other because you were traveling. I had the little kids. There was so much going on that we had to carve out time to be together.
9 o'clock, Thursday night, date night. Now, people say, well, we get this all the time when we speak at marriage seminars or churches.
And you'd be surprised, most people don't have date night.
Most people don't have date. And we say, when's your date night?
So when do you work on your relationship? That's the thing.
We go on a date every now and then. No, when is your time for each other that's dedicated, intentional time? Well, look, we started, we don't have no money. Don't take no money. We did it.
And
We
you
didn't
don't
have no
need a
money.
babysitter.
Don't need a babysitter. You can do it at home. It's intentional. It's intentional. You can have just a bag. We had Jiffy Pop popcorn. That was what we did. Y'all don't remember that. Delatorre, you too young to even know what Jiffy Pop popcorn is. Came in a little silver pan with a little silver handle, and you put it on the fire, and the kernels will pop until you fill it up, and then you know it's ready, and then you get your popcorn. It costs 99 cents per.
And that's all we had. It was fine.
That was it. And some Kool-Aid.
Yes.
Kool-Aid.
That was fine. So you can have an affection problem because you get too comfortable.
Okay, well, that's one.
Okay, you get too comfortable and you forget about. You're always courting. Don't forget that. You're always courting and working on romance. And then there's what Gary Chapman.
Chapter number 10. Always courting. Chapter number 10 in our book. Chapter number 9. Keep the romance alive. Keep the romance alive. Keep the romance alive. You gotta keep it going. You can't stop courting. You gotta court. You gotta be.
So you don't want to take people for granted.
No.
You don't have time to go. You cannot take your spouse, your significant other for granted.
Okay.
Then Gary Chapman reminds us of the different love languages, and that because. But go ahead and say it. Let's see how well you do.
Physical touch, gifts, words of affirmation, and gifts, words of affirmation, physical touch. I can't remember the other two.
Anybody remember the other two?
Other two. Anybody remember? I never read the book. Okay, she came up to me when she had finished reading the book and said, "Well, what's your love language?" I said, "Oh, I love them. My love language. Love language. I give you gifts. I do words of affirmation. Quality time. It was quality time,
which is important to me.
Yeah. Physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, gifts, and there's one more. I can't remember what they are.
You gonna think about it.
I would think about it.
You gotta look at it. Okay, and then
touch. Okay, that was touch. Okay.
One psychologist says there's difficulty if you're not willing to show vulnerability. If you're not willing to be vulnerable, that's kind of nebulous. I don't really like that. It says that you have a problem with affection if you don't show vulnerability.
I don't know if that's true. Not in our case.
I'm not talking about us. I'm just saying what the research
acts of service. That was it. Acts of service. Okay, thank you. Acts of service. All right, now Laurel, it's difficult when you are your spouse's caregiver. That that is true. If your spouse has a physical illness and you're the caregiver, it's hard. But again, goes back to those your four.
Which one? Temperaments?
Temperaments. The temperaments, if they are loving and caring, and they can be instructed on your love language. Even if they can't do a lot of physical touch, maybe they can have words of affirmation. I appreciate you. I love you. You're beautiful. Those kind of things.
I think you have to know. I think what Laurel referring to also, you have to know what your partner's love language is. And maybe that's a fancy word because that's how Dr. Gary Chapman became popular with the love languages. But I think in the simplest form, it says, are you observing your mate, your significant other?
Okay.
If you study, like I had to study you because you were like, I was like, oh my God, what have I got myself into? So I had to focus.
What did you get yourself in? She was in by that time. She was all in.
So I studied you. So I know your inclinations. I know what it means when you say, I'm gonna think about it. It means like, no, I'm not doing it. You know, you might be very sweet. I already know when you're not. I want you to do something and you say certain words or how you say those words, that is not happening, right?
Yes. Now, Sandy asked, can you talk about gaslighting? We did a whole show, Sandy, on gaslighting 2 weeks ago. And you go to YouTube and see the whole show was on gaslighting. It was one, Terrence said one of the best shows we did.
Oh, thank you.
Terrence, thank you for saying that. But that gaslighting, go to YouTube, to Jolley Marriage YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, and look it up.
What is gaslighting?
And what is gaslighting? Because it's a great topic, Sandy, and we don't have time to go back in. We only got 5 more minutes left, and she got some more.
Okay. And then one being an introvert and one being an extrovert, which really goes along with temperament.
Yeah. And I'm an extrovert.
And I'm an introvert.
The channel, Sandy, is Jolley Marriage on YouTube.
Jolley Marriage.
Yeah. Let me text Cheryl to make sure.
Yeah. Okay. So now here's some practical things that they didn't come up with specifically, that a friend had a conversation about body image. What happens when you no longer find your mate or significant other attractive? And you don't know how to say it. Okay? And specifically, and I'll put it very nicely, when your stomach becomes so big that when you have sex, you're smothering the other person, or that you have to adjust your position. And you don't know how else to say that this is no longer an enjoyable activity because you have put on so much weight. What do you do?
Yeah. And that's something.
But that is a consideration.
That's a consideration.
Okay.
Body affection.
And then body smell.
That can have an impact. Body odor or smell. And how do you say it to somebody?
And how do you tell your significant other? Or if you've got mouth odor, because they're gum problems, right? Because mouth odor.
You said one of them.
Gum problems.
You said about drawers. She said drawers. What was that about underwear?
You have funky underwear. that doesn't turn you on. That doesn't turn you on, no. Right? So, Terrence says, communication.
I'm sorry, Sandy. It's happilymarriedmondays.com. Happilymarriedmondays.com. Somebody put that in the chat.
Happilymarriedmondays.com.
That's what Cheryl just said. It was the YouTube channel.
Happilymarriedmondays.com, and it has the gaslighting, which is very good.
With that gaslighting. Hey, Chuck Otley, my man, one of the great financial planners, and we used to go to church together. Great guy. So folks, we got only a few more minutes.
Okay. Now, what do you do about it? So that's some of the problems. And I think, again, it goes back to communication. You've got to figure out some way.
It's an easy way. Be 4 F's.
Okay.
Let's go back to 4 F's.
Be frank, be focused.
Be friendly when you have to have this conversation. That there's some body odor. Be friendly. Be frank. This is how you make me feel when that.
You're not washing your butt, right?
Red Fox had a routine before I got saved and sanctified. I used to listen to Red Fox. He had an album that was pretty raunchy, and it was basically on that whole topic. Anyway,
but it's a relationship. That's a friend.
All right, be friendly, be frank. This is how you make me feel. To be fair. Okay, listen and be focused on a win-win. The 4 F's of great critical
And you've
conversation.
got to know you've got to study your mate. I still keep going back. You cannot study your mate enough to know which words to say that will get them in the mood and in a position where you can.
I'll give you an example. My wife loves onions. Onions. Green onions. I hate onions. I hate them. I don't want them on nothing. When I go to the restaurant, do not put onions on. Well,
I'll have his onions.
Yeah, she's like, give me the onion. You got to give me the onion. Give me the onion. But when we get home, I had to say, before you come over here, come here, get close. You got to go some lemon water. Go get that lemon water, which he does.
I would say, I Are we doing it tonight? I won't eat onions. That shows you the importance of talking.
We talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we didn't necessarily pop out that way, but we were friends.
Yeah.
And then we talked about more things and we're able to share more. And that's what I think in terms of being vulnerable. Here are the things that are important to me or the things that make me feel bad or whatever.
Right.
And that has drawn us closer together.
So when she say, "Are we doing it tonight?" and I say, "Yeah." She said, "I won't eat onions."
I'm not gonna eat onions. That's the question that I asked. All right, so it's 9:30.
All right, folks.
We didn't get to the rest of it, which is connection to improve the affection. We didn't
maybe
get
we
that.
have to do part 2.
Part 2.
All
Okay.
right.
Kiss goodbye and good night.
Let's just kiss and say.
Oh, kiss good morning. I give you a kiss in the morning before I leave. He barely knows. He barely
she
even
comes up
knows.
and kisses you.
I'm awake. I mean that he's not really awake. I'm leaving for the gym and I'll come over and I'll snuggle and give him a little kiss and he mumbles, "Be careful out there," or something like that, right?
That's right.
But first thing,
make love, make money, make it last. We are so grateful. We have multiple printings now, and we just got it into one of the big book distributors. So people in other countries maybe go in their bookstore and get it. But right now, you want an autographed copy. So go to jollymarriage.com, get 2 copies. Get one for you, one for your significant other, so you can read it together. Then get the whole bundle. We just got more workbooks, so we sold out of workbooks. So you get the bundle, you get 2 books, 2 workbooks, an audio book, and a CD seminar. Get the bundle. It's much cheaper than the divorce lawyer who I saw at the gym who drives a Bentley. I saw him on Saturday, and he drives a Bentley. He says, people pay stupid money for divorces, and they should just read your book. They're in my book. He and his wife, they've been married 50 years. He said, I know better than getting a divorce. But he takes money from others, and it is not cheap. So
improve your connection with affection. Part 2, we're going to get to that next week. Okay?
Jolly Marriage. Go get 2 copies. Get the bundle.
So study your mate so that you can know what to say.
And how to say
the right
it.
thing to say.
And
how to say it.
I love you.
And to get more affection. I'm
French and Pepe Levé.
That's the dog.
Oh. All right. Look, we're gonna give you our music as we go out. God bless y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. See y'all later. Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.